On the news tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari visits Benue tax residents to tolerate herdsmen. In business, 7 days ultimatum given to Lagos State government to reverse land use charge elapses. On the foreign scene, 49 people die in a U.S. Bangla plane crash at Tribhuvan International Airport. Hello there, and many thanks for joining us on SuperScreen's flagship news, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I am Adenike Owoye Ajiboye. President Muhammadu Buhari says he is unaware that the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Ibrahim Idris, flouted his express directive to relocate to Benue State during the crisis in which scores of people were killed. President Buhari had ordered Idris to relocate to the state in January, but the IG only spent 1 day left. President Buhari, who paid official visit to Benue State today, told stakeholders in Makadi that he did the needful by ordering the IG to relocate to the state, but did not know that the IG did not stay in the state. He insisted that the relationship between farmers and herdsmen would continue. Hence, the need for people of the state to learn to live with them peacefully. United States Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will arrive in Abuja today for his first official visit to Nigeria. Robert Tillerson would hold talks with President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday. When he arrives, Tillerson will become the highest-ranking official in the Trump administration to visit Nigeria. The secretary is expected to hold a press conference at the presidential villa on Tuesday by 11:45 a.m. And in attendance of the conference is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Oyema. Tillerson has been on a week-long tour of Africa. Report says when Tillerson meets President Buhari, issues of the conference, all the counter-terrorism efforts and humanitarian issues in Algeria's northeast and the Lake Chad Basin would be discussed. The judges of the International Criminal Court, ICC, sitting in a plenary session, have elected Nigerian judge Chile Osuji as president of the court for a 3-year term with immediate effect. Judge Robert Fremont from Czech Republic was elected first vice president, and Judge Marc Perrin de Brichambault from France as second vice president. Osuji said in his acceptance speech that he is honored to be elected by his peers as president of the International Criminal Court. A federal high court in Abuja has fixed April 24 to continue the trial of former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Bala Mohammed's son, Shamsuddin. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is prosecuting Mohammed and others for alleged 1.1 billion naira fraud. At the resumed trial today, the prosecuting counsel, Ben Ikani, informed the court that the matter was for the continuation of cross-examination of the first prosecution witness, Ishaya Dauda. Mohammed's counsel, Jordi Uche San, however, informed the court of his application, asking the prosecution to furnish him with some documents. Some Libya returnees in Edo have reportedly disrupted the town hall meeting organized by the State Task Force on Human Trafficking and Illegal Migration. The aggrieved returnees reportedly protested the alleged discrimination in the disbursement of the 1 million naira resettlement fund, which each of them was promised by the state government. They reportedly alleged discrimination in selecting victims participating in the empowerment program. Report says the protesting returnees stormed the venue of the empowerment program, destroying some items, including the tents, chairs, and sex-stealing funds. The protesting returnees allegedly accused the task force of discrimination in its selective method of victims chosen to participate in the rehabilitation and reintegration program organized for the victims. South-South Zonal Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has condemned the arrest of the Edo State People's Democratic Party chairman Dan Obi by the State Police Command for accusing the governor of diverting rice meant for the internally displaced persons in the state. They expressed this condemnation in a 7-point communique issued at the party's secretariat in Benin.
Speaking at the 7th section of the People's Democratic Party PDP South-South Zonal Working Committee meeting held at the party secretariat in Benin, the South-South National Vice Chairman Emmanuel Ogidi read out a 7-point communique to condemn the arrest of the Edo State PDP chairman Dan Obi by the State Police Command. He also noted that the party condemned the various killings of Nigerians across the country and expressed the party's heartfelt condolence to the people of Plateau and Benue States.
PDP condemned in its entirety the unwarranted arrest and detention of PDP members across the country, especially the state arrest of the Edo State chairman of PDP, Chief Dan Obi, for flimsy excuses.
However, the party state chairman, Dan Obi, said the action of the state government to stop the party from saying the truth to government will not work.
A few days ago, members of the APC were at the Samuel Okpemudia Stadium. At that event, the governor promised President Buhari that he will give him 1.2 million votes in the presidential election. The truth is that Governor Godwin Obaseki is a man with very short memory. During the last presidential election, when Oshomole was in government, after about 8 years in office, the presidential election that was held in Edo State, this party delivered 56% of the votes to PDP.
Now, head of the National Office of West African Examination Council, WAEC, Olu Adenipekun, has attributed their excellent performance and the speedy readiness of the West African Senior School Certificate Examination result to cooperation of all stakeholders. Adenipekun discussed this in an exclusive interview with SuperScreen today in Lagos.
We came up with a project which we termed Project 45 and said that we should be able to do it within 45 days from the time the exam is concluded for us to release the results to the candidates. And we went to work, and the first exam that we were able to conduct within that project was the Works for School Candidate 2017. And they were able to release that result within 60 days. The next exam that we have conducted after that was the Private Candidate, Works for Private Candidate 2017. And we were able to release the result within 52 days. Then the third exam, still within that project, was the Works for Private Candidate 2018 first series, which we conducted between January 29 and February 12, 2018. And the candidature of that exam was slim compared with what we have been handling. And with that, we felt that we should be able to also deliver within the number of days that we are promising the nation, that is within 45 days. And
also explained the rudiments involved in their excellent performance.
We have commitment of staff. Staff believed in that project. That's the first thing. Everybody in WAEC, Nigeria, believed in that project, that yes, it is something that we should do, that if we can conceive it, that we can achieve it. That is number one thing. Number two, we also sold the project to all our stakeholders, to all our ad hoc staff, and they also believed in it. They share in that vision, they share in that dream, and they gave their word, they gave their commitment that they were ready to work weekends, they are ready to work long hours, they are ready to show commitment, and of course, on top of that, we deployed cutting-edge technology to do what we have to do, and that is yielding results, and positive results for that matter.
Well, head of WAEC National Office, Olu Adnipekun, speaking there. And our Joint Action Committee, JAC, in Nigerian universities consisting of non-academic staff union, NASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and National Association of Academic Technology, NAT, is set to call off their over 3-month strike action. This decision, which was confirmed by SANU National Public Relations Officer Abdul Subo Salam, said the striking workers will meet on Wednesday to discuss about suspending the strike action. You will recall that on December 4, 2018, the non-academics went on strike to protest alleged disparity in sharing of 23 billion naira earned allowance released by the federal government. In health matters, the medical expert Oyewole Adeoye has thrown light on the difference between personality and attitude. Speaking with SuperScreen in Lagos, Dr. Adeoye said people with negative attitude should not be stereotyped as their personality.
Personality is genetic based. You are born with it, and nobody has a bad personality. Because it is genetic, but when personality interacts with environment, it produces attitudes. So you can develop bad attitudes, you can develop good ones. So invariably, when people correct our attitudes, we say that's how we are, thinking that is personality. In workplace, you have a bad attitude, people have told you even that same thing at home before you are recruited in your place of work, that you have this attitude about work. Then you get to your workplace and that's how I've been, nobody can change me. Assuming that it's personality, but it's not. But the challenge is that your capacity to be humble enough to introspect and look at that attitude and what it is doing to other people and change it is what makes a difference in your life, whether you be successful.
This medical expert also advised on how negative attitude can be worked upon.
I'm advising that just like every other human being, we should be able to objectively appraise ourselves. This thing I'm doing, this is the result it's giving. If it is continuously reproducible, what can I do about it? So the admission of it is itself 50% work done. And then, of course, submit ourselves to strategies that will help us modify attitudes. We can see experts, counselors, who can help us to modify our attitudes.
And away from that, the Nigerian Navy has handed over 16 Ukrainians to the officials of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commissions. The Ukrainians were arrested in Boni, local government area of Rivers State, for their alleged involvement in illegal oil bunkering within the Nigerian territorial waters.
Handing over the suspects to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on board the vessel named San Pandrapau, the Naval Commanding Officer, Forward Operating Base, Boni, Navy Captain Suleiman Olorundari, explained that the Ukrainians were apprehended in January. Oludari said the Ukrainian crew and the vessel were without the cabotage clearance from the Nigerian Maritime Safety and Administration Agency while operating in the Nigeria territorial waters.
The Chief of Naval Staff has given us the mandate against all form of criminality within our maritime environment. And that mandate, we are determined to implement it to the latter. This vessel, St. Pandrapau, was arrested by our patrol team.
Receiving the Ukrainians for prosecution, EFCC led by Aminu Ismail said they would write the Embassy of Ukraine in Nigeria to alert it of its citizens in custody for allegedly embarking on illegal bunkering in Nigeria.
Yes, the next thing we do is we have to write to the Embassy of the crew members, which is the Ukraine, to alert them we have arrested their citizen in respect of illegal oil dealing in the country, and also sound the vessel and sample it also to confirm the authenticity of the product landed in the vessel.
Navy Captain Suleiman Olorundare reiterated that the Navy will not rest on its laurels in ridding Nigerian waterways of all forms of crimes.
You're still watching SuperScreen News at 8. Coming up in the news, 7 days ultimatum given to the Lagos State government to reverse the increment on land use charge elapses as the members of the NBA prepare to embark on a protest. The details of these and more coming up in business news.
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. For work and for play, for a great start to your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
We always start our day with a nourishing Kellogg's breakfast, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Kellogg's makes a great tasting breakfast for all of us. So in our family, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
So I eat Kellogg's for breakfast. It keeps me full of energy. It's tasty and nutritious. Even schoolwork seems so easy. Kellogg's every day. Breakfast time is Kellogg's time. Breakfast is Kellogg's.
So give your family a tasty, nutritious breakfast of Kellogg's today. Now also available at just 50 Naira.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Well, it's so glad to have you back now in the business world. The Lagos State government has been asked to reverse the increment on the land use charge. Members of the Nigeria Bar Association, Ikeja branch, made the appeal in an interview with SuperScreen in Lagos. According to them, the 7 days ultimatum given to Governor Akinwumi Ambode has elapsed without any change. As a result, they have threatened to embark on a protest that will drive home their demand.
The NBA Ikeja will protest what we call walk the talk. We are going to protest against that law and bring out the consciousness of all our people to oppose that law. We will march, and that march, that protest is starting by 9 in the morning from our secretariat on to the Parliament of Lagos, on to the seat of government, that is the governor's office itself, and on to Ojota, and then back sensitizing. Like I said, it's just the second phase of the struggle against this obnoxious, oppressive, undemocratic, primitive, and parochial regime of taxes. And not my word to the governor Ambode is that if you are truly democratically elected, if you are truly a Democrat, accept that your people, the people of Lagos State, are not in agreement. The vast majority of them are not in agreement with this your law, and that to have a rethink and stop it.
If the new regime is allowed to stand, you want to build Lagos with the blood of the people. That is exactly what you are trying to do. It will affect transportation, it will affect rent, it will affect foodstuff, it will affect every known thing. So definitely we cannot cope with it, and we urge the governor to please still think that is popular and reverse back to the old regime.
The people must rise up now and let those who are governing them know that this is their time. We are now important. We control the government. The government cannot control us. No government ought to be able to take them for a ride. So that is our stand. The moment the government takes the people for a ride and the people are not aware, legal practitioners, as the conscience of the people, have a responsibility to awaken the people to their rights. That is what we are doing.
Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, says he is not scared of going to court over allegations or preferential treatment offered by two power generating companies. Fashola discussed this at the 25th monthly meeting with operators in the power sector in Akwa Ibom State today. Fashola, in his reaction to suit filed by the power generating companies, Gencos, last week, said The Genco said on March 6 sued the Nigerian government for alleged discriminatory treatment of the companies and their gas suppliers with intent to harm their business interests. The Gencos in their suit also accused the government of conferring preferential treatment on Azura Power West Africa Limited and Akugas Limited to the detriment of the Nigerian electricity supply industry in the power sector. The Ministry of Water Resource, Suleiman Adamu, says potable drinking water is a crucial aspect of lives and economic development. Adamu disclosed this while inaugurating a 3.7 billion water supply project in Kazaria local government area in Jigawa State. Suleiman Adamu said that adequate water supply for human and livestock consumption, as well as other users, is an important aspect of life, as well as socio-economic development. Now, still ahead on the news, 49 people died in the U.S. a Bangla plane crash at Tribhuvan International Airport. The details of these and more coming up in the news. Welcome.